I'll read everybody a bedtime story. What the fuck? Okay, everybody get comfy. Hmm. 5-minute bedtime stories? 10-minute? How long do we have again? Fantastic. Kids' bedtime stories. We'll do a 10-minute bedtime story. Watch me get distracted during it. Okay. The Brave Life of Little P. The Fantastic Adventures of a Brave Boy Who Rescues His Family from Demons. My goodness. Oh, that's 5-minute. Okay. Apparently it can be 5 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever. How long you read it. The Miraculous Secret. When Petro's parents find a bag of gold, they devise a curious prank to stop him from telling the world. I can't pronounce that. Don't Laugh in Bungalow Street. A dark retelling of the famous fairy tale, The Pied Piper of Hamelin. The Burning Girls. A dark Halloween retelling of the fairy tale Little Red Riding Hood. Okay, I'm doing that. The Burning Girls. Once a month, Little Red Riding Hood must walk to her grandmother's house, deep in the woods. The woods are thick, heavy with foreign fronds, and contain twisty, little-known paths. Little Red Riding Hood always walks carefully, her eyes straining against the wild darkness, in case she loses her way. This day, she feels the strangest feeling, as though someone or something is watching her. There is only the smallest warning, the gentlest sound, stealthy, as soft paws on furs. Then she feels a hot breath on her ears, and a large hound-like wolf glides beside her, blocking her on the path. She freezes on the spot, arrested by his large, hulking form. "Don't be frightened," he growls. "I would hardly hurt a girl, especially one as sweet as you." Average internet user. And because Little Red Riding Hood still hardly dares say a word, he continues. "Look at you, in your pretty little red hood, and your lovely scared eyes. I am not a monster," and as if to prove it, he laughs a wild, barking laugh. That laugh is more fearsome than if he never laughed at all. Little Red Riding Hood withdraws deep into her hood. Yeah, he's giving me bad vibes. Not gonna lie. "Don't say much, do you?" barks the wolf, still laughing. "Where are you going, little girl with the hood?" And because Little Red Riding Hood has been raised to be polite, she manages to utter, "To my grandmother's house," without hardly meaning to. The wolf's glance falls on her little basket, filled with all sorts of delicious foods. Rosy apples and warm loaves from the oven, peppers and cucumbers, boiled eggs and persimmons, cozy tea candles, and tucked in her pocket where he cannot see, some matches to light them. "Pass, then," he growls, and then disappears into the thick trees beside the path. Man, I wonder where he's going. That's a very pretty still. Little Red Riding Hood's heart beats in her throat. She picks up her soft slippers and runs swiftly the rest of the way to her grandmother's house, feeling the pebbles through her soles, the twigs catching at her hair. But of course, wolves always run faster than little girls. At grandmother's house, a fine wisp of smoke trails from the chimney, and the garden smells fragrant of winter roses. Little Red Riding Hood thinks she hears grandmother scuffling around in her wooden shoes, perhaps steeping the strong rosehip tea she likes to make for her little granddaughter. She knocks on the door, hesitantly, then more bravely. For a long while, there is no sound, an ominous silence. Then Little Red Riding Hood hears her grandmother's voice drift from the upstairs window. "Let yourself in," she says. You know I never lock the door. In the house, there is a smell of soap and dog. Little Red Riding Hood removes her shoes and leaves them by the door. Then she treads carefully up the stairs, each step creaking with each tentative footfall. She cannot explain why she feels such trepidation. Surely, Grandmother's house has always smelled of dog, mixed in with the clean smells and the warm food smells. But there is Grandmother. She is in bed, her embroidered sheets pulled high around her eyes. "There you are, lovely," she says huskily. "Come on in and give your grandmother a hug." But Little Red Riding Hood hesitates in the doorway. A draft winds in from the half-open window. She looks great. I would trust that grandma full-heartedly. "Grandmama," she says softly, "what great big eyes you have. All the better to see you with, my darling. Come closer so these old eyes can see. And what a great hairy face you have," she stammers. "All the better to kiss you with, my darling. Come close, you'll see it's silky." And as she says so, Little Red Riding Hood catches the gleam of her incisors. Incisors? I never said that I was good at reading. "What great big teeth you have, Grandmama," she cries, shocked. "All the better to eat you with," the grandmother suddenly barks and throws off her covers. The wolf, dressed in the grandmother's clothes, swallows Little Red Riding Hood whole. He was a fucking liar. He said he would never hurt someone as sweet as her. Liar. In the wolf's stomach, Little Red Riding Hood can see no light. She remembers the match in her pocket and strikes it. There she sees the ruins of his last meals. Tin cans and bones, and 3 other little girls like her with large eyes in the darkness. Are they alive? "What miracle is this?" the girls whisper, tears in their eyes. "You brought the light." Little Red Riding Hood knows what to do. She passes around the matches. Together they set light to the wolf from the inside. He lets out a great roar, flames pouring from his monstrous maw. The girls are shot out with the flames as though hurtling on dragons. Some pretty sick art. Back in the bedroom, they watch the wolf howl as combusted. As he combusted, he escapes into the darkness. Only a smell of singed fur remains in the room. "Oh, is Grandma alive?" Grandmother is in the cupboard, and the girls release her. They embrace and kiss one another. Then they feast on bread and fruit in the warm kitchen. I'm sorry, who are these girls? Did Grandma just adopt them? Are they not going to talk about the trauma that they just experienced? And the girls forevermore carry matches in their pockets. The end. Guys, what the fuck? Okay, well that went a little bit faster than I thought it was going to, so maybe we read one more. Let's do a 5-minute. Beans make you fast. Augie doesn't like eating vegetables until he discovers that the food on his plate has magical effects. Alright. Alright, we'll end with a happy one. Okay. Beans make you fast. Augie never liked eating vegetables, but one day, at dinner time, he heard the strangest thing in the world. "No more beans for me," said his father. "Beans make you fast." Beans make you fast? Now that was odd. The next morning, he found his big brother Hudson in the garden and asked what that could possibly mean. Hudson smiled behind his hand. "Are you sure he said fast?" he asked. "Definitely," said Augie. "Beans make you fast. What's that about?" Hudson thought about it. He turned his face at the sun and smiled wide. Then he thought some more and finally turned back to Augie. He said very seriously, "Did you eat all your dinner last night?" Augie thought that was another strange question. "I never eat my dinner," he said. "It's always yucky stuff. Beans and peas, carrots and pasta. None of it's as good as biscuits and chocolate and ice cream." said Hudson. That explains it. That explains what? That explains why you don't know what that meant. You see, it's an amazing thing about the food you eat at dinner. It has magical properties. Augie loved magic. What kind of magical properties? Well, sorry, I skipped past the picture. Enjoy your picture. My bad. Well, if you eat beans, it can make you fast. It means that you can't help yourself. You have to jump up and run, and you'll find that you can run twice as fast as normal times. Try it tonight. Beans make you fast. Wow, look at Augie go. Speedsy. Augie couldn't wait for dinner that night. Wow, he's gonna eat fish and pasta and beans, and he's gonna have a little thumbs up. That night, dinner was beans, pasta, and fish. Augie took a big spoonful of beans, and suddenly he was whizzing around the room. He was the fastest boy you've ever seen. He ran back and forth between the table and the window 10 times in a minute. Wow. Wow. Wow, said Augie. That's amazing. Beans did make me fast. Why don't you try some pasta? Hudson said and winked. What does pasta do? Well, pasta makes you faster. Holy shit. Holy shit, guys. So, Augie took an enormous bite of pasta, and gee whiz gollykins. He was positively zooming around the room, 10 times as fast as before. Augie sat down again, breathing hard. He couldn't stop smiling. What else? He whispered. What do all the other foods do? Well, fish makes you wish. Say a wish and it might come true. I'm glad that he put might because that is a good clause. Augie took the biggest bite of fish and made a wish, but he couldn't tell if he was imagining it. And he couldn't tell if he was imagining it, but he felt the strangest tingling on his face, which just might have been his secret wish to watch TV that night. And meat makes you sweet. Rice makes you nice. Pie makes you fly. It was incredible. Wow, said Augie. I love the sound of this. There's crazier ones, whispered Hudson. Peppers make you write letters. Carrot makes you talk like a parrot. Broccoli makes you want to play Monopoly. Hudson's really gone off. Suddenly, Augie really wanted some broccoli. He loved Monopoly. And everyone knows, honey makes you funny. Augie suddenly realized that he couldn't wait for dinner tomorrow. But first, it was time for a nice cup of tea before bed. That's exactly how I drink tea. But tea makes you. Uh-oh. The end. Does tea make you pee? Was that the end? Tea makes you pee? They're not wrong. I have so much tea and I gotta pee so much. Well, that was Bedtime Stories with Fig. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it was just the comfiest, even the horror one. I kind of had fun. That was kind of fun. I enjoyed it. Thank you very much. That's where we're gonna end stream. This needs to be at the end of every stream. I could kind of be down for that. A wind down. Oh my god, we start streams with a game of Valorant. We end streams with bedtime stories, guys. Okay. I don't know if y'all can hear Dan. But he's saying that we can either do bedtime stories at the end of streams, or whenever he's around and feeling down for it, we could do some creepypasta with Vozzy, where I'll do narration, and you said me narration, you voices? Yeah. No, I'm kind of down. I think this is a nice vibe. You know what? Yeah, it makes me happy. I think this is definitely something that I'd be down to do. It was fun and something a little different. It's been so cozy, so nice. Wow. No, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I know it's been a couple of weeks since we last did this. And I like to stream at least once a week, so thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to see you guys next week. And I love you. All of you. Wowie. And I will see you guys later. Goodbye.